Is Mortal Kombat Deception a game that is worth playing today? Yes, it is. This is one of, if not the best Mortal Kombat. I'm not joking. My name is Dominic Berry. I'm a 45-year-old man in a very cold flat, which is why I'm wearing a dressing gown. And I've made other videos talking about my love of Mortal Kombat. But this one, man, this one. I was there when it came out and it's one of the best. I've not yet made a video about Deadly Alliance because I was not there when this one came out. I bought Deadly Alliance after finding out about Deception. In this video, I'm going to talk about my own personal journey into finding this game. Why, just in my life, that was so important to me because I love this game so very, very much. But that might not be interesting to you. So if you want to skip forward, in the comments, I'll write like timestamps where I start talking about Konquest mode, because that needs speaking about. And I'll put another sort of mention of when I actually start talking about the fighting, because I'll save that till the very, very end. Chess combat, what a thing! How much is packed in this game? How much is packed in this game? When I compare it to the games of my childhood, I had the Sega Game Gear, and it's a thing of beauty, but you know, games were basic. And then I left my home where I'd grown up. You know, I moved to the city, I left my family, and I discovered nightclubs and having casual sex with people I'd never meet again, and alcohol. And I stopped playing video games in my early 20s. My interest in video games was out the window. So all through the PS1 era, I was oblivious. Start of the PS2 era, oblivious. And then I started dating someone who had a PS2, and I started hanging out with some new friends, and a friend introduced me to this. And to see the 3D graphics like this, I've spoken before about how Mortal Kombat 4 and that kind of 32-bit era graphics wasn't something I found impressive at the time, but this I did. So on a visit to West Wales to see my mum, I bought this copy, and I remember the train journey home looking at the manual. Do you remember when games had manuals? It's a long journey from where my mum lives to mine in the city, and so I just read this over and over again, and oh, we have lost something not having things like this anymore. Reading about the new realms, the realm of chaos, the realm of order. I thought this is bold to introduce such radically new things in such an established franchise. Wow. Also, looking at the character lists, loads of the favourites aren't there. Now, I disliked Mortal Kombat 3 for cutting out so many of the characters, but this intrigued me. I actually, to this day, I really like the fact that not everyone's in here. When you compare it to Armageddon, the next game that had everyone in, but sacrificed a lot of the uniqueness of each character for just having everyone in. How good is this? Tetris columns, whatever you want to call it, with Mortal Kombat characters. They packed so much in here. It's so good. So anyway, I went back to the city with this and my newly acquired second-hand PS2. And, you know, it was a time in my life where I was very, very poor. I didn't have a good job. I'd bought this second-hand, and you know, I was quite cross. And getting all my anger out on this was just brilliant. Stage fatalities are super easy to do in this. Oh, bright light, Mortal Kombat. Don't blind the viewers. So yeah, a lot of emotion was vented on this. So, we're coming up to 5 minutes in the video. Finally, I'm going to move on from talking about my personal journey and talk about the actual game. Konquest mode. Oh my goodness, it's the first thing I went to. And to have villages that you can stroll around doing side missions like finding someone's lost items in a forest, having different realms, going to Netherrealm, Outworld. I thought, this is different because there's so little violence, there's so little action. It is slow. You literally meditate. And I thought, I love this, but is this what Mortal Kombat fans really want? Is this popular? I didn't have access to the internet. This was the first Mortal Kombat you could play online, but I didn't have that ability. There was a world before the internet. And yeah, it's not for everyone, this Konquest, but it's unique to this game to have the character Shujinku and to just go through a huge open world. I do wish that they'd taken a little bit more care with the canon. Like, the time doesn't quite add up because you meet Shujinku as a young lad and all the way through to him being an old man. And some of the characters, if it was being real, they wouldn't even be alive, let alone that age at certain points. But we forgive it for that. We forgive it for that. We forgive it for that. Queen Sindel is at her best in this. Like, you know, meeting her in Edenia. Just, I'm not going to spoil the story, but I say the story is great. I say that Shujinku is a brilliant character. He's not loved by everyone, but his arc, you know, his story. Play Konquest. It's unique. It's engrossing. It's brilliant. 7 minutes in, I'm going to talk about the actual fighting because I've said before in these videos that I'm not good at fighting games. I love them, but I'm rubbish. Apart from this one, I'm good at this one. I am good because the hours I've poured in to the combo system. I had a little go at Tekken. I had a little go at Soul Calibur. For me, they were a bit too difficult. I was able to do the combos on this, and the reward I got, was memorising them. And I love the characters, I love them. I want to say a little bit about some of the hated characters. Kobra, right? Kobra. This is before we had guest characters in video games, and Kobra, isn't he just like special guest character Ken from Street Fighter? If they'd have done that, everyone would have loved him, wouldn't they? Everyone would have been like, wow, Street Fighter character in Mortal Kombat. And that is what we've got. I really like Kobra. I think he's an unfairly hated character. But best character of all, Havik. Now, of course, Mortal Kombat 1 has got the Chaos Reigns DLC. I don't want to be a hater, but I don't think they do Havik well in that. He's not the same. This is the tie-in comic that went with the Netherrealm era, Mortal Kombat's 9, X, and 11. And I like them. Not everyone does like these. I think Havik's all right in this. He's all right. He's like the main antagonist in this comic book series. And he's all right, but he's at his best. There he is. There's the man. Chaos. The universe thrives on it. What I love about Havik in this is that he is a bit like, you could argue a bit like Joker in Batman. That a lot of his stuff, it's not really, it's just chaos for chaos's sake, really. You know, I like how neutral he is to a lot of situations. His personality is really intriguing. When you meet him in the Konquest mode, unique character, unique motivation. I don't think they've grasped his love of chaos. He's not wanting power. He's not wanting anything really other than to just mess stuff up. I mentioned this is before the internet. Here's my genuine printout of all the fatalities. Genuine printout that I did when I went round to someone's house who had the internet. And look what a nerd I am. This is my handwritten account of what happens in Konquest mode because it's so long. I wanted to write down it so that I didn't have to play it again to, experience it all again. I said this bit was going to be talking about the fighting game mechanics, and I'm not. I'm back to Konquest because I love Konquest so much. The fighting's great. Characters like Scorpion and Sub-Zero are realised so very, very well in 3D. And the arcade endings are superb. I miss arcade endings. People criticise the new Mortal Kombat a lot. And some of the criticism's fair. But at least it does have arcade endings. Whereas so many fighting games have done away with them. I remember the difference between Soul Calibur 4, which in my opinion has great arcade endings, and Soul Calibur 5 with none! No individual endings. And like Mortal Kombat has always done it, for better or worse. Armageddon endings, I think, are generally pretty terrible. But the Deception endings are superb. And then I went back and played Deadly Alliance. And the way they set up, these two games really go well together. I don't know if I'm going to do a video on Deadly Alliance because I played this one first. It's just so much better. Deadly Alliance, to me, felt like a poor man's Deception. You can't uppercut in it. You can't uppercut. It's there isn't a Konquest mode. There's a big old sort of training mode that goes on forever. But it does have a Demon's music video, which is cheesy and awesome. So, yeah, I waited for Armageddon and Shaolin Monks to come out. I was skint, but I bought them both on, like, day of release. Saved up for them. I became, like, so into Mortal Kombat again. All thanks to this game. The story, the uniqueness of Konquest mode, the boldness of bringing in brilliant new realms, new characters, the stage fatalities. Oh, and Naga, I've not even talked about Naga. Great final boss. I love that the Kamidogu is set up so well, and then in the final boss fight, touching them weakens Naga. That's a brilliant, unique fighting mechanic. He's a brilliant final boss. Really, really inspired. Everything about this game so inspired. Honestly, you should play it today. The characters, some of them you've got to unlock, and that takes time. It's not paid DLC. I know some people might be a bit impatient because, like, Liu Kang takes forever to unlock. And I love the fact that I didn't know who the unlockable characters were. There was just shadows, and I kept playing, not knowing who would be there, who wouldn't. So when you do unlock Liu Kang, you're like, oh wow, he's in there, because it's not a given. Not all the classic characters are. And getting Liu Kang his nails. I've got to give a little shout out before I finish this video to the PSP version, which has all the characters unlocked, plus a few bonus ones. It's really worth playing this, really worth playing. The camera is a bit harder to control on Konquest mode, but yeah, to have a portable Deception, it is worth it. So, this has been my longest video yet, because I think it's the one for which I have the most love. Honestly, for me, I know this is blasphemy for some, this knocked the original ones out the water. It really did. Mortal Kombat's 1, 2, 3, 4 just knocked them out the water. And to this day, so good. So good. Please do yourself a favour. Find a way to play Mortal Kombat Deception. Immerse yourself in the magical, wonderful story. Next video I'll do a little one about Armageddon and the end of the PS2 era. What a thing that was. Thank you so much for watching this video. Why not like? Why not subscribe? Why not leave me a little comment about what your view is? Am I being overly generous to Deception? Do you think it deserves a bit more critique? Which is your favourite Mortal Kombat? I really loved making this video. Cheers for watching it. stay warm. Have a good one. Take care.